If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, you know prevention is the best medicine. And maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them. From disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Busy hour on tap. A look at tonight's playoff schedule. Matt Youmans on the program. His thoughts on Nick Celtics' Best Bets PGA Championship. And here, today's Major League Baseball card. In action right now, second game doubleheader. Twins won the first game. They have now roared back to take an 8-6 lead at Baltimore. They are in the bottom of the eighth. Cano came in for the Orioles, trying to get the hold here to bridge the gap for a possible save opportunity, and he allowed 3 earned runs in the top of the eighth. So Twins now going for win number 10, I think, in a row.
Yeah.
So it speaks to, and I play fantasy baseball, and I have for, 20 plus years now. This is the most frustrating it's been for me, Pauly, to play fantasy baseball. It also ties into betting stuff for live opportunities, because my bullpen has been so bad in my fantasy league that it's killing my ERA and my whip. And I don't last night, for example, in the Angels game, which their bullpen is an absolute travesty with how bad it is.
Yeah. Well, how about San Diego's pen?
Well, I know that. Lately, trending in the wrong direction.
Terrible.
So both bullpens got blasted last night. The D-backs had 2 relievers who allowed 3 runs each to the Giants last night. The Dodgers pen allowed 5 earned runs in innings 7, 8, 9 to the A's. That was the late session. The early session, the Red Sox, multiple guys blown up. Hoffman on my fantasy team, disaster. 5 earned over one third of an inning. The Rays bullpen, horrible. The Marlins kid came in and he blew the game.
Yep.
Mackinnon has a great, he shares it every other day on VSiN.com with his numbers. I encourage everybody to read it.
Yep. That's a great angle in play tonight for the Angels-Padres game and over 9. Not like Hendricks is going to get anybody out.
No kidding.
But once they go to the bullpen, watch out. Because how bad San Diego's pen has been. And now these guys, the Angels, are dead last with a 7.07 ERA, and they've allowed more homers than any other team. It's, by the way, Machado has owned him. Not 9 of 20 career against Hendricks, so that's a good angle later tonight. Yeah,
so the worst bullpens in the league, right there, Angels tied with the Nationals with the exact same ERA, 7.07. D-backs in action right now, who knows, they could give up a couple of runs here. They lead the Giants 8-4 in the 7th. Orioles, hideous, like we said. The Giants have the best bullpen ERA in baseball at 2.62, and that's with Ryan Walker, who was the closer to begin the year. His ERA is 6.5. So take that guy out, and they've been all-time good for the first, 6-7 weeks of the season. So we're going to get Game 2 doubleheader Cardinals at the Phillies. This is Nola against Gray. Nola, back on April 11th, was good, but he got the loss. He struck out 7, gave up a pair of 5th-inning runs. Phillies lost the game 2-0. This season, ERA is 7.07 from the 5th inning on. Nola is 8-4 with a 2.62 ERA and 14 career starts against the St. Louis Cardinals. But I can't trust that guy at all.
Yep.
And we said this earlier, Schwarber, horrible numbers against Sonny Gray, 3 for 22 in his career. And Gray's coming off a really good game, but that was against the Pirates in their listless offense.
And Harper's got bad numbers against him. Yep. I like Detroit on the run line. I got to come right back with Detroit and Skubal. This offense, how many guys are mashing? This turnaround for Baez, not to mention what Skubal's got a 1.13 ERA in 4 home starts. Lowest ERA through 5 home starts among the Tigers in the divisional era since 1969. He's been ridiculous. And Baez, 6 RBIs last night. He's reached base in 5 of his last 10 plate appearances. He's 5 for 9 with a walk and 8 RBIs going back, and he's hitting .396 with 10 extra base hits and 23 ribbies. Top 5 in the majors in each category during that span.
Wow.
His average has gone from 258 to 320 since April 26, 10 for 17 with runners in scoring position. I've been saying it day after day on this show. Baez, but also Torkelson. Green's been getting it done too, but the numbers that Torkelson's putting up, he's right there with Judge in a lot of these big categories. So that's what you want to do when you want to attack props with all these Detroit players and how they continue to hit the ball.
Well,
and I think they'll get to Boston again today, and they're not going to get much off Skubal. So $1.10 on the run line.
This offense overall has to be one of the best stories in all of baseball. So they scored 10 again last night. That's the 7th time in 12 games this month they have scored double-digit runs. They are averaging almost 8 runs per game in May. The next closest team is San Diego at 6.5 runs per game. What a story this is. And you're right, more on Skubal here. 4-0 with a 0.97 ERA in his last 6 starts going back to April 8th. Only Max Fried has a better ERA in that same span. Adam Burke did have a good breakdown today on VSiN.com suggesting that the Red Sox lefty could get to him tonight, though, because they are really, really good against lefties. And he made a case to bet their team total over 1.5 at plus money in the first 5, and I think he laid a quarter over 2.5 runs for the Red Sox full for the game. But there's nothing slowing down this Tigers offense right now. A lot to like. And I like the Rays tonight against the Blue Jays.
Oh, has Bassett been bad?
A nice plus price here. Go ahead. What do you have on Bassett?
Last 4 starts, ERA is 6.
Mm-hmm.
And I mentioned the low props if you want to get involved. 5 of 11 with 3 bombs against Bassett. You can do that too. I mean, this guy, what a tale of 2 seasons it's been for him.
Yep. First 4 starts, really, really good. Sub-1 ERA. Last 4, 6.04. I'm with you. Lau makes sense tonight. Maybe total bases over with him as well. And Pepio going for the Rays. It's been the exact opposite of Bassett. First 4 starts, ERA was hovering around 5 with an opponent OPS of higher than 900. Last 4 starts, trending right direction, 2.82 ERA with an opponent OPS of 686. So you can grab +1. I think this number has come down now throughout the day, but the Rays around +130 in this game tonight. That is even higher than that. Yep, I like that for a bet tonight on Tampa. So Dan on X has been sending tweets on us about following these team totals, and he's got some amazing numbers on the Pirates, like not getting to 5 runs on the year.
Well, I can't. I mean, this is a joke. 2.3 runs per game?
Yeah.
Come on.
They have not scored more than 4 runs in a game since April 22nd. And like you just said, that run since April 23rd is the worst in baseball, and they're 5-14 overall.
Yeah, Yeah, the Mets are so good at home in the year Holmes has had. I got some great numbers on Beatty, but I don't see the guy on the prop. I don't think he's in the lineup. 4 home runs last 5 games.
Oh, he's been blazing hot.
6 of 13, 19-6 when he plays. Oh, Pittsburgh's also lost 11 of their last 12 in the concrete jungle. So I can't back. Yeah, absolutely. All Mets and the Cubbies. They're in that stretch, 21 in a row against teams with a losing record. And Miami has lost 3 and 13 in their last 16. Tyone, 4 starts against Miami, 3-0 with a 0.83 ERA. And the Cubs can hit. And Weathers makes his first start. Oh, Cubs should bury him. Come on. Cubs should be easy today, based on all those numbers. I know nothing's a lock, but come on. Tyone's owned them. Cubs, great offense, and Miami's reeling. You're throwing a guy who's a gas can, potentially.
They're $1.63 in the first 5, minus a half run in the first 5 is $1.10 here at Circa.
Okay. Yep.
You approach it that way?
Okay. Corbin? I'll tell you, he's been good.
I know.
240 against Sensitel and the Rockies.
There's no way I could bet the Rockies.
Right. Back-to-back games Corbin has started. They've lost 2-1. So it hasn't been his fault.
No, he's been solid, and Senzatella is basically as bad as it gets in all of Major League Baseball right now.
If they lose today, they'd be the first team in the modern era since 1900 to lose 36 of their first 43 games.
Mm-hmm. I was going to look at Corey Seager home run props for tonight, but he has landed on the IL. Langford tonight, total bases or home run is around plus 375 for him. I don't love the Rangers offense. There's not a lot of to love here with that team overall. But Senzatella is an absolute gas can, and he gives up a bunch of bombs. So maybe Langford would be worth a shot in some props tonight in that game.
All right. And then a get-well game for the Dodgers, 285 at DraftKings. Nothing went their way. Blown out, and then Freeman couldn't get a hit. Ohtani was held in check. I don't think Mookie did anything as well. That was bizarre. But then again, the A's have the best road record in baseball. 14-7.
They're going to be there at the end of the year. I know we say that like every week. A's playoff team?
Well, just when you were buying into Seattle. It's been getting swept by the Blue Jays at home.
That was no good. That stunk. But also now Bryce Miller, the third starter in that rotation, to go down with an injury. And it appears as if he's going to miss some time. Why? Isn't that funny the way it works when it's just the injuries start to mount up and they multiply for a certain team in any sport?
Yeah. Yep. Welcome back, Al Lasso. We love you. I was in a vicious car accident. Al took care of me, and was involved in the largest slip and fall verdict in the United States. Have you ever been injured in Nevada in a car crash, a slip and fall, or because someone else was careless? In moments like that, what you do next really matters. That's why you need Lasso Injury Law. They're not your typical personal injury firm. They're a boutique law office that gives you one-on-one attention. At Lasso Injury Law, you're not just a case number. You're a real person with a real story, and they'll fight for you like your family, and he took care of you as well.
You want to talk about a massive car accident? This goes back a good 7-8 years now. I was hit by a 20,000-pound truck. Never happened. Nothing like this ever happened to me. I had no idea where to turn to, who to call, whatever. And first time ever dealing with, somebody at Al's level like that. And I was blown away at the professionalism. Not at all like like a creepy lawyer who you might see on TV, the exact opposite. And he made me feel like super comfortable from minute number one. And I knew I made the right choice when I contacted that guy. Yep.
When someone's been hurt, they don't need excuses. They need answers, support, and results. Call 702-625-8777. Free consultation. You won't hit voicemail. You'll reach a team that's ready to help. 702-625-8777. Lasso Injury Law. Built on purpose. Driven by results. They fight for you. LassoInjuryLaw.com. Get them out.
If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
You can always get in touch with the show at VSiN Live, at Mitch Moss Radio, at Pauly Howard on X. Easiest way for us to read your comments. And this is from the Rainmaker on X. We were kicking this around during Do You Concur about the Mavericks maybe trading Anthony Davis, some other teams as well. But Rainmaker's asking, everybody's talking about the Spurs and Rockets when it comes to Giannis. Why not OKC?
Love it.
I've had the conversation off the air with multiple people in the last couple of days.
If they don't win the title, absolutely.
What about if they do?
I don't know about that. That's aggressive. You win the title and then you say, thanks, guys. I am not a fan of Chet Holmgren.
You don't like him?
I would trade that guy.
Oh, you would?
Yep.
Well, so
it's also
the Bucks have to be asking for somebody like him for sure.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying with all the pieces and assets they have too. But it's, some of those guys have been timid and scared. It looks like in big moments. Although the bench rescued them yesterday, and Dort knocking down those threes was huge. I think Dagnauts had a rough series as well. Started with game one, and then it's okay. They got Murray's struggle in the fourth quarter, but Joker's killing you. You have Hartenstein and Chet. You got to get the ball out of his hands. You got to let someone else beat you. He's going for 44 on you. You got to, come on.
Nobody has more assets in the league than Oklahoma City.
Well, it's all those picks.
All those picks and all those young players.
Right. Spurs getting close, though.
You could put together a very healthy package for Giannis. And Giannis is, 30 years old?
31, I think.
I can't even imagine what him going to that team would look like. They would just be...
That'd be fun.
Oh, my God. It would be amazing television every night that they play. It is already, but it takes a bump up.
Mm-hmm. I've been disappointed with them in this round and in the playoffs.
with the Thunder.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, all it takes, I think maybe the buy sign could have been that fourth quarter last night.
I hope so.
And the odds have flipped, man. They were recently, down 2-1. They were a nice plus price to win the whole thing. And now forget about it. They're, 270 to win the West? And they are minus 140 to win the title at this point?
I'll tell you, Williams is either Jamal Murray heat check or he can't make a shot.
Baffling.
There's no in between. He's either 4 of 20 or he goes off.
Or 11 of 15.
Yeah. And he needed to get the ball in crunch time in game 3. That's not bad. That's not a bad. I thought the same thing that OKC could. OKC, Houston, San Antonio, yeah, but that's give me some big trades.
Let's say the Thunder do get to the finals, right? And they get past the Timberwolves, if that's going to be the series. And in the finals, they're getting the Pacers or the Knicks. How do you think either one of those series would go? I think that they would. Well, again, these playoffs have been absolutely crazy. My preliminary thoughts would be Thunder in 5 against the Knicks. I think it'd be an easy series for them.
Well, you have to be objective and look at this. Yes, it's a great story, but Boston has pissed away this series.
Of course they have.
Boston has led at halftime by double digits in every game, and they've been up 14 points in every game, and they've led by 20 in every game but one, and they're down 3-1. And 2 of the 20-point leads were late in the third quarter. So it's just, total choke job. But Indiana plays so fast that they're going to get you into the tempo and what they want to do, and they're so deep, and they just play at this crazy speed. There's nothing you can do right now.
Right.
And that's why I think they have a great chance to win the title. And I think you got to add more. Very confident they beat the Knicks, and I think they're going to give OKC all they can handle.
I think that team would throw the fear of God into OKC because they play at warp speed. And oh, by the way, what else do they have going for them that the Thunder can pretty much overpower anybody with is their depth. Indiana's playing like 10 guys right now.
Oh, I trust their guys a lot more than OKC.
Oh, I think
to make a shot, Nebhart,
absolutely,
Mathurin, Halliburton, all these guys, McConnell. I trust all these guys to score and knock down a wide open 3. I can't say that about many guys on OKC.
Huh? I think like 8 guys can play well at any night for the Pacers.
Denver's throwing zone at them and it's working.
Yeah,
make them pay. Dort finally did, but it's good for him. But you shouldn't be struggling on offense with all the weapons you have, and they are.
Agreed. I'm seeing the first quarter number for tonight now. It got away from me. The Celtics are up to 2.5 now in the first quarter, and it looks like you're laying 15 cents at some spots. With the point spread being at 4.5 for the game. Yeah, check that. Now 5.5 here at Circa. The Boston Celtics are now a 5.5 point favorite in this game. And the total is on the uptick as well. I see a 208. Yeah, it's you know what? It's where it is. 208 still.
Did you expect any woe is me, gloomy Gus stuff after what happened?
No, I expect this team to come out and attack the Knicks like they're rejuvenated actually tonight.
Okay. But I also think it's how many guys can you count on? I would say right now I'm confident Pritchard has a big game and White. I can't get there with Brown. I wouldn't be surprised, but he's been terrible in this series, and I'm not going to get anything out of Horford and Porzingis and Holiday. And the other thing is what's going on in the paint and with the double bigs, with what Robinson and Towns are doing. And Towns has been great on the boards, and how Brunson can attack. Imagine at Boston, huh? Get to the basket. Good things happen. Get into the basket, get into the paint, get into the free throw line, knocking down threes, and also what they did on the boards and what they have done in the paint, specifically in Game 4. Why, I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks, I think this is crazy now, 5.5. I think the Knicks win the game. I really do. And I just don't think, because I was so concerned and focus on what happened during the regular season and how the Knicks were so bad against the big 3. It didn't occur to me that, hey, we got Thibodeau against Missoula here.
Yeah, that's where...
Because Joe can't draw up anything. Because certainly it's like, call a timeout, scream at these guys, and just say, pass the ball. Move. We're doing it. What are we doing here? And it happens over and over and over. And one exception was last year But again, they didn't play anyone who could test them because everyone was hurt. But they are just dog bleep in the fourth quarter of these games when they get big leads or it's squeaky bum time.
That's the thing, right? Is that without Tatum, I would expect this team to go out there and have a chance to shine, because it does turn into that same. And Tatum's like the ringleader of this whole thing. And it absolutely stinks that the guy got hurt. I don't like Jason Tatum's game. I never, ever want to see anybody get hurt. That's awful. But I also think like he's the reason why the ball lacks a lot of movement on offense.
Fair. You might have something here. But
at the same time, I can't trust Joe Mazzulla, because I've been saying this since last week when the guy appeared to be exposed. I think there's a chance he's a really bad basketball coach.
Yeah.
And nobody will talk about it. So I can't sit here and tell you that he's going to come up with some master game plan that's going to change how they play on offense tonight.
Yep. He does have a new owner now and a new boss. That's something to factor in if they go out in 5, injury aside. The other thing, he's up against it. The last guy to come back in less than 11 months from the Achilles was Barea in 2019.
Oh, man.
Plus, we that tweet you sent, and Durant missed 550 games.
Well, you have
550 days, excuse me, between when it happened to him and when he played his next game.
You know what? I'm going to buy into Nick Van Exel's tweet.
Which was what?
He said, I'll give you a reason why. I'm no doctor, but he goes, all these players now, they don't play in high tops anymore. Like, I played basketball when I was younger, right? I obviously never got to this level. And I agree with Nick Van Exel. You had to have high tops on when you're playing basketball. He goes, everybody's wearing lows now. He goes, I can't prove it, but the fact that we have so many now more blown Achilles tendons out there and everybody's playing with low tops on, not high tops. He goes, you can't play basketball in low tops. You have to have high tops on. And are they even called low tops? I don't even know, to be honest.
I think it's the game is spread out the most it's ever been. We've never seen basketball played like this before, with the spacing and the speed and the pace, and you have to guard everyone in all the area. And
there's so much switching
and the movement, cutting, and all. And then look where these guys are shooting from. I mean, I got to run over here and guard this guy. I got to fight. Come over here and do that. Right? It's insane with how much they're running and how much. You have to defend all these areas of the court now, which it didn't happen in the 90s because it was caveman basketball. And just pack it in and mid-range jumper, or let Ewing dribble 20 times and take a...
Sure. There were no teams... I mean, really back then, for a long stretch of NBA history, those teams were playing at a snail's pace, right? You were not running up and down the court at 100 miles an hour. A lot of these teams play with super fast tempo nowadays. And for a long stretch back in the 90s, that was not the case at all. I mean, 82-74 for finals games. Okay,
terrible.
Great stuff.
Well, I think these are good games from an in-play standpoint, though, too. Like, you'll see what Boston has from the jump. And then certainly you have to get involved with the Knicks if they're down big. I mean, it's just Groundhog's Day with the Celtics. And then we'll find out what Golden State's made of, and if they just say, that's it, that we're going home.
Right.
You know, because you'll know if it's good Minnesota or bad Minnesota.
Probably. You'll have a good idea right away in the game.
Look in California, feel in Minnesota, right? Mm-hmm. You'll know right away if the bad Timberwolves showed up. Smart bets start here and last all year long with VSiN Pro. Limited time, we're slashing the price of the annual subscription, normally $240, now just $199. When you sign up today, we'll throw in 2 extra months for free, 14 months, less than 50 cents a day. Code PRO. Every best bet, every host, every guest, the betting splits, the dog videos, the betting guides. VSiN.com/subscribe. Code PRO. 14 months, $199. Get it now.
Matt Youmans next. His betting approach for Knicks Celtics, PGA Championship, and NFL schedule observations here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Get some best bets here. NBA, PGA Championship as well. VSiN host Matt Youmans joins the program. He is on the Progressive Guest Line. Matt, thanks for the time as always. We were just talking about this Knicks Celtics number now. Boston up to 5.5 at many shops. That game, by the way, is tipping off in the next half an hour. Your thoughts now that it's at 5.5 here for Boston?
Yeah, there's a couple things here. First, it's a bummer to see Jason Tatum go down with that injury. He was playing probably one of the 5 best games I've seen him play for the Celtics all season. 42 points, 7 made threes, and it's just disappointing. But this brings up the fallen star theory in handicapping. The first game, after a star goes down, a lot of times that team is in a bet on spot. The guys are going to elevate their level of play. going to prove they can win without the star, and that's really a proven handicapping angle. That said, I really don't want to test it for 4 quarters tonight with the Celtics because this team's just a little bit too soft.
Yep.
I think what you're going to see tonight is an initial surge from the Celtics, basically what you saw from the Cavs last night. The Cavs came out, like bats out of hell, hair on fire, first quarter, second quarter, and then they faded as the game went on. I think you probably see that from the Celtics tonight as well. So I'd look at Celtics first quarter, maybe first half, but I don't trust them for the full game. And I think the Knicks want to get on with this, and they want to get it over with because they got the Pacers waiting in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yep.
So it would be Celtics first quarter or second quarter. I talked to Chris Massaro today, and Chris, obviously a disappointed Celtics fan, but he was saying play Peyton Pritchard on his points prop and some of his player props over. But Pritchard's a guy whose numbers are going to surge tonight with Tatum out. By the way, if you haven't done it, check out Chris Massaro's timeline on Twitter for the past week or so. It's epic. The guy's been on fire. Have you guys seen it?
With jokes or picks?
No, I mean his rants.
Oh, his hot takes. Okay.
I love what he said about the lottery. This stuff is just too convenient. I think this draft lottery stuff, not for nothing. It's just, how are these bad teams supposed to improve if you're not going to give them a chance? That's the other thing, too. Oh, by the way, all these good players are going to the Western Conference. That won't stop
Another
either.
one.
I like what you said. So, yes, they're soft. The Knicks are the tougher team, no doubt. What do you think, early leaks, stuff that's out there, thoughts on the NFL schedule?
A couple things are interesting. One is I'm not a pro Cowboys guy in general, but the Cowboys have quietly had a pretty good offseason and a pretty good draft. And with Dak back, I think they're being undervalued a little bit. And the Philadelphia Eagles off the Super Bowl being a little bit overhyped. I thought that number should open 6, maybe 6.5. That's a little bit high. Cowboys +7 at Philadelphia in the season opener. And if you really look into what the Cowboys did in the offseason, I think it's impressive, and they're undervalued. The other thing I'm questioning a little bit is why did the Chargers give up a home game to play the Chiefs in Brazil? Because apparently they had the choice.
Yep.
And there were 2 other choices, and they decided to give up the home game against the Chiefs to play an international game. And to me, that doesn't make sense. When you're trying to beat the king in the division, why are you going to play him on a neutral field? That was questionable. And I thought that the Westgate opened that number 2.5 today, I believe. Chiefs 2.5-point favorites on a neutral, which I agree with.
Yep. All right.
By the way, do you like it?
Yeah.
Love it? Hate it that we're going to get the same teams pretty much on Thanksgiving and on Christmas Day?
I don't hate it. I guess I don't love it. I don't hate it. I'm somewhere in between. I think they're pretty good games. So that's kind of where I stand on that. I think it's okay. It's not great.
Fair enough. Matt Youmans, our guest here on the Progressive Guest Line. You love betting golf. Tomorrow we get the PGA Championship. It starts bright and early. How are you attacking the odds board at the very top with Scheffler, McIlroy, and DeChambeau now all 3 of those golfers below 10-1?
Yeah, it's interesting here because you feel like you don't want to play a bunch of long shots this week because this is going to be a bomber's course the way it's set up with all the rain. The rain has fallen so hard in Charlotte the last 2 days. The players who are walking the course today, so there's still water standing. That's going to make a long course play longer. So when you have length off the tee, that's going to be even more of an advantage this week. So you've got at the top Scotty, obviously Rory, and Bryson DeChambeau. I played Rory top 5, and Circa's got the best price anywhere, which is typical for golf betting. Circa's got the best price on most things. Westgate Superbook's usually pretty competitive, but Circa's got Rory top 5 at +135. I actually bet him at +110, so I got a bad number. But Circa's got a good number on that. I bet Bryson at 11-1. I remember last year Bryson should have won this major. And his putting stats, in fact, in Quail Hollow are off the charts. So I played Bryson at 11-1, also top 5 at +20. Justin Thomas is a player I have not bet much at all, actually, in the past 3 years. But he is, I'll tell you what, he's trending in the right direction. He's got 2 major wins, and they're both in the PGA, one at Quail Hollow. I did play JT at 22-1, also played him top 10. I did not play anything on Scotty Scheffler yet, Mitch. So you're asking about how do you attack the top players on the odds board. Nothing on Scotty for me right now because he does not have a positive history at Quail Hollow. And he could be a slow starter in this tournament. He's been a slow starter a lot recently, except for the Byron Nelson, which he won 2 weeks ago in a runaway. But I wouldn't be surprised if Scotty starts off a little slowly and you get a better number on him if you like him. But, I'll tell you the truth, with Rory, Scotty, and Bryson at the top, Scotty is the one I like the least of those three. I bet a couple of long shots last night at Circa after the show, best number anywhere. Shane Lowry, 55-1. Man, he's been so close to winning. I also bet Lowry. Top 20. I can't remember if I bet him top 10 or top 20. But anyway, Lowry I think is going to be a contender. And also a player I rarely bet is Terrell Hatton, but I got 55-1 on him at Circa too. And Hatton's another guy who's long off the tee, playing well. He's been winning. He's been close to winning on the PGA Tour. So I kind of like that play. How much time do we got left here?
3 minutes.
Okay, we got plenty of time left. You know what's tempting? I know you had Indy Jeff Seeley on today. That guy's great. He had another winner last week. He's been the biggest Brooks Koepka fan for a long time, and he tweeted something, I think about a month ago, about Brooks Koepka's never going to win again. And he was a poor performance by Koepka at Augusta. But I'm not sure Indy Jeff was serious about that, because sometimes when Jeff's drinking and tweeting, you don't know whether you can take him seriously or not. But I would think that when you see Brooks Koepka drift up to around 50-1 right now, you have to consider that, don't you? With this guy's track record in U.S. Opens and PGA setups, you got to consider Koepka at this range, don't you?
No.
He
hasn't finished top 15 the last 7 majors. Get your game back. Then don't think about it.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's too late. You want to get ahead of the curve when the odds value starts to peak, right? Where he gets up to 50 run, and then when he comes back and he plays well in the tournament, then he's going to be back down to 30-1. Would you bet DJ then? He's been awful too. I'm not betting DJ. His number got up at the Masters. His number got up around 125-1, and he was no factor, right?
No. Yeah, he's been bad.
Now, how about this, Matt? I bet Max Homa after he finished very strong at the Masters, if I recall correctly, and I grabbed him at 66-1 to win this because he has a good history here. I checked earlier today, Circa had Max Homa 205-1.
You got to play that. You actually have to play that. I remember a couple of years ago, I might have been 4 or 5 years ago when Phil won the PGA, and I played Ricky Fowler. He got up around 220-1. I played Fowler. Remember that major when Fowler finished second or third?
Yep.
Yeah. So Max Homa, that was a guy who looked like a dead man walking going to Augusta, and he just shows up out of nowhere and plays great for 3 of the 4 days. So, Homa with his track record at Quail Hollow, I think he's worth a shot. Mitch, I think you have to play that. And again, at that type of number, you're not going to find numbers like that on Max Homa. These guys can find their game. They can look lost and then just show up out of nowhere and all of a sudden contend. Now, Cameron Young's another guy I'm going to mention. I'm not betting him to win the tournament because I don't think he's got the mental fortitude to get it done on the weekend. He will break down under pressure, in the 3rd or 4th round when he's up at the top of the leaderboard. But how about first round leader? Cameron Young's starting to trend in the right direction. And he's another guy who's a bomber off the tee, one of the longest hitters off the tee. How about first round leader? You can get Cameron Young at around 90 or 100-1 first round leader. I'm also going to play Keith Mitchell. That's pretty obvious. Keith Mitchell's 70 or 80-1 first round leader. I know Jeff Sherman's got these up. Last 5 first rounds on tour for Keith Mitchell, 64.2 scoring average with 3 firsts and 2 seconds. So I think the first round leader market is something you got to look at as well.
For sure.
Right.
I took a little bit of him as well. Matt, thank you. Best of luck tonight and this week with the PGA.
Okay. You bet. Thanks.
There you go. Matt Youmans, host on VSiN Primetime, following us, but not on Wednesdays.
All rise.
Did he go yard?
Yep. 3-2 Yankees. Judge goes deep.
He did, That was not off Castillo, I don't think, was it?
No, it was in the 8th.
Yeah.
Now, that would be something if Goldschmidt went deep off Castillo. He was 1 of 43 against him. Did you see that?
Oh, is that right?
I couldn't believe
1 of 43.
He didn't start. I believe he came off the bench, so that was... I saw that. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. 1 of 43.
Judge, before action today, plus 225 to win the Triple Crown. Couple of hits in this game, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. In pocket plays, what we are betting tonight. Coming up on Follow the Money, it's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, you know prevention is the best medicine. And maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them. From disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I'll bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're out.
All right. Almost swept the board. Pacers ice cream. No problem. Outright. Didn't need the points. Stars beat the Jets again. That went up to $1.60. I didn't understand why it was so low. Hellebuck on the road, nothing to it. And Freddie Freeman couldn't get a hit. 11 to 1 ace. Dodgers couldn't do anything. Pacers to win the East, 19 to 1. We got to do Pizzeria Friday, tip jar. Got to do it. We got to hear from the listeners. I've seen some big tickets on Indiana out there on X, and people who listen and watch the show. I can't imagine some of the stuff that's out there. Minnesota, Pacers, hell, even what the Knicks were not that long ago, considering how bad they were. So, send them in if you got them. And that doesn't end there. How about hockey? What do you think Dallas was when they lost Game 1, 6-1?
Oh.
What do you think Edmonton was when they were down 0-2 to the Kings? And the beat goes on. Tatum, most points. Injured, bye-bye. Curry, most threes.
Oh, hold on. Can he still win that?
I don't
if
think
if the series ends tonight, or does Brunson have it locked in?
Brunson had 38 the other.
Okay.
I'd have to look. I doubt it. Maybe. Could be a miracle. Curry, most threes. No good. Stars minus a game and a half against the Jets, minus 110. They're up 3-1. Hurricanes over Stars exacta, 11 to 1 and 14 to 1. It's down to 7 now. Knights Oilers, first period over tonight. Vegas, 9 of the 10 playoff games have gone over in the first period. Right back with Carolina, Washington, first period under tomorrow. There's only been 1 goal scored in the first period in 4 games in the series. Anderson, this is 4-0. Let's make it 5-0. Anderson under 21.5 saves. That's tomorrow. Today and tomorrow. Nuggets +5. I think we're going 7 here. I think Joker's too good, and he imposes his will against OKC, and I can't trust the others with the Thunder, and I think Denver will win the close game this time. Knicks +5 tonight. T-Wolves against Golden State, take 10.5 with Golden State. I think the bad Minnesota can show up tonight, not to mention the shot in the arm at the Warriors. You never know. If they shock the world, Curry could come back Sunday. Pritchard over 2.5 threes. Now, the juice is getting out of control there. Depends where you shop. Last check, it was $1.70. Joker under 8.5 assists tomorrow. Kuminga over 17.5 points tonight. Angels, Padres over 9. Angels, worst bullpen in the league. ERA of 7 and change. Padres bullpen has been awful for 2 weeks now. Good luck.
A lot of action. Hot and heavy. Go get them. This goes back to, I was off last couple of days. Goes back to Friday. Giants loser against the Twins. Quan over total bases was no good to score a run. That was a winner. And a Freeman-Witt parlay over 1.5 total bases each. That lost. What we are on tonight, well, the pending. Tigers most wins in May, 16 to 1. Scooble's going tonight against the Red Sox. Soto, NL MVP, 20 to 1. And only a couple of bets for me tonight. Peyton Pritchard over 13.5 points. I bet it when it was minus 135 and put it up on the VSiN.com picks page right away this morning. It's up to 15.5 at some spots now. Come on, kid, let's have a game tonight. By the way, I'm noticing that FanDuel and Boyd, they're doing this again. In the first quarter tonight, almost every book has 2.5. Not FanDuel and Boyd. Boyd's out here in Nevada. It's 1.5 minus 142. Also, for the first half, they're offering 2.5 on the Celtics, not 4. But you have to pay 42 cents for it as well. Like, how much is a point worth for the first quarter in the first half compared to... So, but the money line is still like minus 170 for the first quarter. and Rays money line plus 143 against the Blue Jays. That's a take for me, simply based on current form here with Pepio. Been really, really good for the last 4 starts after a bad start to the season. The exact opposite of Chris Bassett, who was strong to begin the year, but the last 4 starts, he's been dreadful. And I like the Rays bullpen a little bit more than I like the Blue Jays bullpen, especially after last night. Hoffman got absolutely rocked. 1/3 of an inning, 5 earned runs, so I'll take the Rays at plus 143. Just a numbers grab there.
Go all in this summer. Circa Las Vegas, the ultimate getaway package, just $400. 2-night stay at Circa, $100 dining credit, $100 beverage credit, your own day bed at Stadium Swim, where the party never stops, all for just $400. Fees and taxes included. Valid through May 26th through September 4th. Lock it in, the all-in summer package, CircaLasVegas.com. Potential bad beat. Arizona led San Francisco 8-2. It's 8-6, runners second and third, bottom of the 9th.
And this is that Giants bullpen. Let's see here. Again, they entered today's action with the best ERA in all of Major League Baseball for a bullpen. And there's one by the Red Sox, by the way, against Skubal.
Yeah, Devers got a hit. He came around on a sack fly.
Check out who this is. No, it was
Miller for Arizona.
Yeah, it was.
Did I say it backwards? Arizona's trying to blow it. Did I say it backwards?
Arizona's trying to blow it is what is happening. Yep, there you go.
Giants trying to tie it. Sonny Gray had nothing tonight. Phillies got 5 off him in the first.
I think he gave up a couple of home runs here, too.
Okay.
Shut the long ball meter. Nah, only one. Real Muto with a 2-run shot.
And the Twins swept the doubleheader. Twins have won 10 in a row. Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a good race for wins in May. Hell of a race.
Let's see here. Yeah, a bunch of teams are at 9 or now 10 with the Twins. Peyton Pritchard now with the 3-point prop. Over 2.5. Let's see. At BetMGM, the over 2.5 has been moved to 3.5.
Oh.
It's now plus 135 on that to get 4. Book still showing 2.5 made threes. Caesars has 2.5 over minus 80. DraftKings has 2.5 over minus 175. FanDuel 2.5 minus 164 on him.
Well, if you're going to shoot 48 a game and your number one guy's out and you don't want, certainly don't want Brown shooting them, they're White and Pritchard should be bombs away.
Well, yeah, again, when Tatum doesn't play, Peyton Pritchard averages 10 plus 3 attempts per game. That goes all the way back to early on in October when a bunch of these guys like Anthony Edwards and Pritchard were taking a ton of threes, and Book still had like their props. Buddy Hield to begin the year.
Mm-hmm.
2.5. They're taking 10, 12, 14 threes a game. Jalen Green had a long stretch. Just knock down 3, shoot better than 35% when you take that many, and you're going to be good to go.
There's time left, but what do you think about the second round, NBA, NHL? Indiana in 5, Boston down 3-1, Minnesota ready to put Golden State to bed. OKC, Denver's been incredible. Edmonton's up 3-1. Carolina's up 3-1. Dallas is up 3-1. Toronto, Florida, game 5 tonight, 2-2.
Well, I mean, I think it's quite obvious that
it's been wild.
The Toronto-Florida series has been awesome.
Yes.
Other than that, the NHL, I mean, the Carolina-Washington series is just completely lopsided and not even fun to watch, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Edmonton, the Golden Knights, that's been a good series.
Yes.
But it's a 3-1 lead right now for the Oilers. And the other one, I got to say, the Jets Stars has not been a good series because your boy Hellebuck here continues to fall on his face. So I think the second round, in terms of overall drama, wildly disappointing.
Yep.
So I would also, I'm tempted to take Toronto tonight in this game. I know they're going to drop the puck here pretty soon. I can't quite get there with the current number.
I'm rooting for them, but I think they missed their chance.
Yeah.
You just can't do that. And you had them dead. You're going up 3-0. You're up 3-1. And that, of course, if you would have flipped it, because Wall was so good in Game 4, but there are issues they had defensively, and they blew it, and they couldn't get the goal in overtime.
Well, we appear to have some late steam here in Toronto as well, because they're as low as plus 115 right now, the way it looks. And they're dropping the puck here coming up in about 6 minutes. And that was higher than that not that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And in the other one, the Golden Knights now are as low as minus 117 the way it looks against Edmonton.
That was incredible, the last game. Vegas was listless.
That
was nuts.
Edmonton was so good. I want Toronto to get this tonight because I want to see Toronto and Edmonton play in the Stanley Cup final.
I would love that.
Give me an all-Canadian matchup there.
Yep.
With those two teams going against each other. Come on, that's a can't miss.
Absolutely. All right, the NFL special schedule show comes up next. VSiN Primetime. Looking forward to that. Cashing out Joe Serralo, 11 p.m. He's on Nick's Money Line. And VSiN by the book, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. tomorrow as well.
These point spreads are going to be popping immediately, man, when these other matchups are going to be announced. Hell, I mean, books might put up every single point spread for the entire season at some point tonight / early tomorrow morning.
They did a good job with the marquee games week 1.
Yeah,
I think that's a strong start.
Which teams are going to get raked over the coals with the travel disadvantages, right? That's always a big takeaway.
And hopefully Kansas City.
Yeah. Remember last year was San Francisco?
That's right, yep.
Big time, and always stuff that you want to pay attention to. Did you see the Giants, how they're going to begin the year?
No.
Okay. Let me quickly get this before the end of the show here.
Seconds, yep.
The Giants to begin at Washington, at Dallas, Chiefs, Chargers, Eagles, week 6.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They're going to have, they can't go dart.
No.
They probably have to go Russell Wilson there.
Yeah.
Good luck with the bets tonight. Man. Again, primetime next. We'll see you.
If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.